So let's jump in first with this fitness tracking setup that you've got here, Andrew. What is this?
So I've been testing out 2 products from Nokia, Nokia Health. Nokia actually bought a company called Withings. You ever heard of them before?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Withings was purchased by Nokia and rebranded as Nokia Health. And so there's 2 products here. I've been testing out this smartwatch. This is called the Nokia Steel HR. The HR stands for heart rate. I'll let you hold that. If you look at it, if you look at the face, it actually doesn't look like a smartwatch, right?
Yeah.
It just looks like a standard watch.
It looks like a standard analog watch, not even digital. And it's got behind the minute and hour hand a couple different things. One's like a dial with 100% on it. And then what is that? It's like a
That is a
solar
digital
panel?
screen. That's a digital screen. So if you start pressing the side button, you see
okay.
you can pull up different stats, and you can also get like alerts on your watch as well. So it is a smart watch, but it's supposed to be minimalist. So for people who don't want an actual display screen on their wrist, they can have something that looks more like a watch that they can still get notifications and information from.
So what do you think of this so far?
So if you look at the back, actually, you'll see a bunch of sensors on there. You've got the heart rate monitor. The other nice thing about this watch versus, let's just say, something like the Apple Watch, the Apple Watch will last 2.5 to 3 days on a charge. This watch, the battery lasts 25 days.
25 days. That's quite a bit longer than, for example, my Fitbit.
Right.
In terms of the overall battery life.
So if you go on vacation or whatever and you forget your charger, you're probably going to be safe because as long as you're not going on vacation on day 24.
I like the band. The band is, I know it's rubber.
It's rubber, but it's like a comfortable rubber.
Exactly.
And they have different bands. You can swap them out to be, you know, if you want different colors or whatever. And then it's got the heart rate monitoring.
Do you know how much this one costs?
Yes, this one is $180.
So this watch is
$180.
$180.
$180 with everything that we just talked about. And also it does like the typical step tracking and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Just the bare, you know, those, whatever a Fitbit would do, this would do as well.
I assume it syncs to an app on your phone?
Correct. So there's the Nokia Health app, which this will sync with, and everything that this tracks obviously will get synced back to your phone. So including your heart rate. So during the day, if you do a workout, you can see how your heart rate went up or down. Some people said like during the Super Bowl, people would see their heart rate spiking depending on like where you were located in the country, and if it was your team playing or if you really invested in one of these teams, it actually would show your spikes and, you know, dips in your heart rate. So it's actually very accurate. It's actually doing a good job. So that is the Nokia Steel HR.
Got it.
Minimalist watch that does all the typical fitness tracking stuff with heart rate monitor built in and swim tracking as well, water resistant. So that's part 1. Then part 2 is this right here. This is Nokia's body composition Wi-Fi scale. Now this is actually pretty cool. Now you were saying before we started, why would I want a scale that connects to Wi-Fi if I can just step on a scale and just see my weight, right?
This is my dilemma. And in fact, I've been looking at my old bathroom scale and thinking, I really want to upgrade this thing. And I wrestle. Inside my head, I'm like, but you don't need one. You step on it, it gives you the readout, you see where your weight is, and you move on. Why do I need more? And I have a hunch you're going to give me the answer.
Yes, I mean, it's all built into the scale. So, I mean, I'm going to give you the answer. So, first of all, for me, if I were to step on a scale that wasn't smart, just your any typical scale, I'm not going to remember, unless I have like a notepad or something, where I was, 21 days ago. Where was I 3 weeks ago today versus today? I don't know, unless I have some sort of, I'm not going to remember every time I weigh in. With this, obviously, it's going to remember. So you get on the scale, it weighs you, it syncs to the cloud, it syncs to your phone. You can go in. I know you're an Excel guru. You love Excel, you love charts, graphs.
Yes, certainly. I wouldn't say guru quite. I haven't quite mastered the pivot table yet.
I will go into the app, and it'll show me a line graph. Here's where you've been. When you step on the scale, actually, you can see right here on the box. When you step on the scale, it'll show you your weight, but then it'll also show you, okay, here's what you've lost since last time. And this is a line graph of the last 8 weigh-ins.
It's like a fever chart.
Yeah, so you can see where you've been over the last 8 times, but you can also see over time. Feel free to open that up, by the way.
Yeah, so this is the Body Plus. Is that what this one's called?
This is the Nokia Body Plus Wi-Fi scale. Now, aside from weight, this will also measure your fat mass, so the percentage of your body which is fat versus not fat. It'll tell you your muscle mass percentage, so the percentage of your body that's muscle. It'll tell you your water percentage, and it'll tell you your bone mass. And it's going to tell you all this on the display,
Wow.
and it'll sync everything. It's actually pretty nice, right? Like, this is
Do you remember that
glass.
thing with the Wii where you would stand on it?
Oh,
and
yeah,
what was that
the-
thing
the
called?
fitness board.
Yeah, the fitness board. It
Yep.
kind of, maybe the shape is, this is square. I think
Right.
that might have been
It was a rectangle
regular, but
and
still,
plastic.
It kind of makes me, it sort of has that feel
Yes,
to
but
it.
this is nice. This is a nicer glass instead of a plastic.
Yeah.
But again, so all those different measurements it's giving you. So it's not just about your weight. It's really trying to give you a whole look at your entire body composition, if you will, over time.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you have a scale,
Right.
most people are going to use it, right? This will support up to 8 people, different people, and it will automatically know who's stepping on the scale.
Okay.
So, I mean, I believe it does that through the weight. So if you weigh roughly the same as someone else, it'll probably have a more difficult time. It'll actually ask you who was stepping on the scale. But like if I step on the scale and my wife steps on the scale, we don't have to say, oh, this is Andrew. Like it just knows your general weight. So
Unless
who it is.
somebody lost, 40 pounds overnight
Correct.
or something.
Yeah,
In which case you got a bigger problem
Yeah,
than
which
your
is
scale.
weird. And then battery. So this runs on 4 AAAs, and the battery life is 18 months.
Wow.
Yeah, a year and a half. Four AAAs,
really good.
a year and a half. So this one sells for $100. Comes in black and white.
And that is actually cheaper than one of the most popular Fitbit scales, the Aria 2,
Right.
which sells for about 130, if I'm not
Correct.
mistaken. So
Correct.
this is really an interesting one. Now, does it only work in conjunction with the watch, or can you use it on its own?
Oh, you can buy this on its own. You can buy the watch on its own without the scale.
Let me ask you this. Has this changed your behavior?
I think any smart fitness tracker will change behavior. So in other words, Nokia has made a good system here, but I don't think in order to change your behavior, you need to buy the Nokia system. But just being more aware of what you're doing throughout the day, how many times have you stood up today, how, even if you look and you see, oh, I've walked, 1.8 miles. Well, let me see if I can get to 2. Like just that kind of stuff kind of does give you a different perspective on what you've been doing and kind of pushes you a little bit to just achieve a little more.
It does. I've been using a Fitbit now for about 3 months, and I got to say, it initially had that impact on me where it was a game for me. I had to get to my 10,000. It's amazing how many steps 10,000
It is, yeah. Well, for people like us who work in an office
Yeah.
and sit down a lot, because there's also people who are like, I see like, they'll hit like 50,000 in a day, like just on average. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, how are you doing this?
I don't believe that.
No, I've seen. Trust me,
It's an exaggeration.
I'm like, no exaggeration. I'm
50?
like, what are you doing? They're like, well, I work on my feet all day. Plus, I go for a walk to lunch, and I walk back from lunch, and I'm like, wow, I just sit at my desk all day.
See, to me though, as time has gone on, it's been more of a gut check in just how bad I suck. It's like, oh
Right,
yeah,
right.
yep, wow, 500 steps.
Wow.
Boy.
Well, I'm not wearing
It's
this
4.
tomorrow.
It's 4 o'clock. Yeah, I'm leaving that at home. I did actually. I quote accidentally left it at home today.
Okay.
So I mean, I think you still. This still comes down to good old fashioned human perseverance. I think.
That's true. One thing I do want to say about Fitbit, though, we were talking earlier also, I'm not a big fan of Fitbit.
Why not?
Fitbit tries to keep everything in their walled garden. You have to go through the Fitbit app for everything. So Apple, if you use iPhones like you and I do, they have the health app, the health platform. Anyone can tie their products into that so that they can read or write to or from the health app if you allow them to do so. Fitbit doesn't even allow you to pull in the data into the health app. Nokia does. So you can use, like if you wear this watch, not only will it show up in the Nokia app, but it'll also show up in the Apple's health app with all your other stuff. So if you have, let's say, diabetes or something, and you're tracking that in the health app, you can then also pull in your steps and anything, your weight, all that into one interface. So I really appreciate any company, not just Nokia, that actually keeps their data open for you to use in other ways.
And the practical impact, as you're alluding to, is you can get multiple different types of devices as long as all of them support that Apple Health app.
Correct.
And then you can just have all your data in one place.
Yep.
All right, so this week on Geared Up, we are talking about some of the gadgets and devices that Andrew and I have been using lately. Sounds like you're a fan of this whole approach with Nokia.
Yeah, I like it. I recommend it. The watch is good if you're into minimalism. If you're not, if you want something that's more, flashy or smart, then maybe it's not for you. But if you just want to track your health, go with this.
So remind folks again, it is the Body Plus.
Body Plus scale, $99. And this is the Nokia Steel HR, $179.
All right, good stuff. We will be right back on Geared Up talking about my favorite new Windows laptop. That's coming up next.